My father, he thinks I'm insane.
From the writers of Lost and the creators of Once Upon a Time.
You claimed you traveled to this place, Wonderland. You fell in love with the genie.
I'm gonna find him.
She's not the Alice you thought you knew.
I sense that you can take care of yourself.
Next Thursday, the search for her lost love begins.
All right, Rabbit, dig your hole.
Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. Series premiere next Thursday at 8, 7 Central. Followed by an all-new Grey's Anatomy and Scandal on ABC.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Blacklist After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Blacklist After Show.
Joe Jagger.
That's how it starts.
No, you're right.
You're right.
All right. Sorry. Bing is for doing. Oh.
He's going to introduce himself.
Oh, you singing now?
Listen, he's a man of wealth and taste.
Oh. That's like a spoken word version.
That's always right. But I'm not cool.
You're
It's not going to work.
Bing is for doing, and we are doing the Blacklist after show here. Episode 2, The Freelancer. I'm here. We've almost made it. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. I'm here, Joe Braswell, and I'm joined, as always, by the lovely Julia Cearley.
Hello, hello.
And I'm joined for the first time of our new series by Joe Sanfelippo.
It's very exciting to be here.
It's very exciting for us.
It is. It's very exciting for me anyway.
Okay.
And you're welcome, because you all are very lucky to have me.
All right, you don't look excited. And we do not have, as always, we do not have Nando Velasquez.
The mighty Nando Val.
He's like big time. He's so cool. He had to show up.
I don't even know.
We decided to show, the 4 of us decided to do this show.
And where's
2
Nando?
episodes. Don't know.
Nothing. He keeps saying, I'm sick, I don't have a voice, whatever.
Tweet at Nando Vel. Ask him where the F he is.
There you go.
I miss you, man.
Yeah.
I miss you, Nando.
Oh,
We miss you much.
Actually, he's under the weather. I'm giving him a hard time. He's under the weather. He's not feeling well. He's very sick in the head. Kidding.
He'll be back.
So here we are. We're episode 2 of the Blacklist. We are the gang who did The Following and Hannibal specifically, and a bunch of other stuff. And we are now doing this show, the 4 of us, the 3 of us for now. So thank you if you're listening to us on Hannibal and the other shows. Thanks for following us. See what I did there? Thanks for following us over here.
That was excellent.
That was good.
Not so good.
We apparently have a thing for
you're good.
procedurals and mass murder. Those are the things that we enjoy.
Mass murdering procedurals.
Yeah.
That's what we need. So we're here, episode 2. I mean, we have some dissension in the room for once. This isn't going to be the love fest that it always is. The gush fest. We have some, So I want to jump right into it a little bit. So let's talk about our impressions of episode 2. Joe, before that,
yeah,
you weren't here last week.
I wasn't here last week.
Julie and I just gushed and waxed and gushed about how we loved episode 1.
I think you left a stain somewhere over here.
That's
waxed
unnecessary.
and gushed. That's what you missed.
Yeah, I missed the gushing.
Yes.
So now we're post
Well, a little
gushing.
bit of wax.
No stain. In that chair sat my man Skinny Pete, Charles Baker.
Yes.
Charles Baker.
Who's slightly more famous than you are.
A little bit. A little
more
bit.
famous.
Give the man credit.
He's a great guy, very nice guy. We're very happy he was here, but I'm happier you're here. So, you weren't here last week, so tell me what you thought of last week's show, quickly.
I liked episode 1. I really enjoyed. I really got into it. I liked episode 1. I liked being kind of like, what's going on? What's happening next? I liked the feel for, obviously it's a new show, and so that was kind of cool. And I, you really got the sense. All right. What is, who is Raymond to Elizabeth? There's got to be something cool going on there.
Did you see the show?
I did.
Okay.
I'll throw a pen in the first 2 minutes.
You're doing it. This sounds like you're just kind of like.
You said really quick.
Okay, go. I'm sorry.
And now you just dragged it out.
You did say really quick.
Spader and Pilot. How do you feel about Spader and Pilot?
I like Spader and Pilot. Anything else? Can we just cut words down?
I like Spader and Pilot.
Elizabeth Keen, the lead.
Elizabeth Keen, good face, like, yay.
Yes. All right. Good. That's all we need.
Young Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, good.
Yes. She was good.
She's a very lovely lady.
She's pretty.
So Pilot was good.
Pilot was good, I thought, and I really liked the idea that you didn't know who he was to her, and now I'm figuring that out a little bit. I think I have some I think I gave you a prediction via text, which
I read it.
Okay, all right, good. I think that James is daddy, but we're gonna find out. We'll get there.
Too spot on for me.
Too easy?
A little too obvious.
I disagree.
All right, well, he pulled out the chair at the restaurant today. I'm just saying, or, I'll pretend I'm your boyfriend. Haha, no, we're not doing that. Oh, maybe I'll pretend I'm your father. Pull out the chair. Loo. I'm just saying, that happened.
They gave up the whole secret in episode 2.
Pop, there
Done.
it goes.
Right there.
The Blacklist.
What's
that just got blown? The whole wad. Done.
Okay, so well, we'll get into this, but I do want to say that it is interesting the way they do these things because, as we talked about last week, you shoot the pilot, you write this great script that people love, the pilot script, and then you make it and you shoot it,
and then everybody goes away for 6 months.
Everyone goes away for 6 months or so,
yeah,
and then they tell you we're going to do it. Give me 24 more, 22 more. So this actually, episode 2, even though they aired back to back, they're really shot probably 6 or 7 months apart. So we have a lot. I mean, there's some continuity issues there in terms of the last time these people were in these characters from what we saw last week to this week was a long time. And for me, as always happens in TV every year, it's not, people do it all the time. It seemed to pick up where it left off, and I think that they did a pretty good job of sort of continuing the feeling of the pilot, the well-directed pilot by Joe Carnahan. And I liked it a lot, but we'll talk about the pros and cons. I mean, Julia, what did you like about what are your first impressions of this episode 2 here? Are you up or down from episode 1?
I've dwindled a little bit from episode 1. I gushed and I waxed. And gushed a little more.
I
just wish we'd pick other words.
I know, gushing and waxing.
Picked it. I was totally spun up on episode 1. I really was. Are you guys enjoying yourselves?
Spun up is better. I like
you
that.
Like that? Is
yeah.
that better? Do you approve?
Not my fault. Don't look at him.
Totally spun up on episode 1. Had such a great time, and I enjoyed episode 2 as well. But I find I have a couple issues. I have a couple of issues. That's all I'm going to say is I have a few issues with this episode.
Okay, so what did you like?
I dig the Spader. I do. I think his delivery is fantastic. I love that I can pretty much see the wheels turning in his head, and I like that I still really don't know what his relationship is. So I'm constantly guessing, why is he here? I want to know his motivation so desperately. So I enjoy that they're not giving too much of that away. They're sort of chipping away little ideas that I might have here and there. So I'm really liking that. I'm enjoying their relationship. Let's say that. I'm enjoying their relationship more than anything else.
So you're okay. So across the board, acting okay, or just Spader? Are you feeling? What's your grade on the acting right now? Episode 2. We'll go have some episode. Maybe episode 3 will be. An A+.
Are we talking an average?
Yeah, just
throughout
get average
the entire cast?
acting. Blacklist episode 2. Acting gets what?
I'm gonna B.
Okay, solid B.
Solid B. A solid B.
A well thought through B.
Yeah.
The writing?
I'm gonna stick with a B average.
Okay.
Right now.
And the directing.
I'm gonna stick with a B average.
Oh,
I'm feeling
boring.
it. I know.
Boring.
I am being boring.
All right, Joe.
Let me interject. I will say a couple things I really liked. I loved the chase scene. I thought the chase scene was well directed. I think you had just the right amount of follow cam where you were in it, you were in the chase and bouncing around. Just the right amount. I thought it was exciting when it was supposed to be exciting. I thought it was
handheld.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I liked it. I thought it was well done.
Cool.
And like I said, I think that there's if you'd gone maybe another 15 or 20 seconds of it, somebody would have puked somewhere. Somebody probably did puke somewhere, but nobody did here. I tell you what I get frustrated with, and this is a pet peeve of mine for many moons. FBI WTF is a thing for me. I get. We're like it's very timely for me. We're in the middle of a government shutdown. There's budget fights all over the place, and I'm looking at a sea stallion or whatever the heck, the two-rotor helicopter landing on the container ship that the FBI is using as a prisoner barge for one prisoner to take him back to New York.
Perfectly normal.
Completely normal. This is how we do business here in the U.S.
That's where the FBI apparently conducts their polygraph tests.
Exactly. And after you take them off the container ship that you are driving, I'm guessing, around the Hudson Bay, then you take them to a super secret warehouse where you have a mobile bat cave that opens a hermetically sealed plastic thing and it slides back 50 feet, leaving a floor in place.
Standard operating FBI.
That's just how we do.
What happened to his fancy hotel room? I thought that was part of the deal.
The deal wasn't done yet.
He's still working on the deal. The lady from the lady from the district attorney's office, the main district attorney. She's not going to have that deal. She's going to fight it out.
I want to get back to you. I want to get specific with you and your thoughts and everything else as I do you. But just really quickly, I'll give you the same thing. The acting. What do you think?
I don't like to grade people's acting. I feel that's a little bit goofy on my part.
But if you had to,
I don't want to. But I will say this: I know he made you. It's mean-spirited. I think that James and Megan and Ryan and Diego all do a great job. I think that maybe with Diego they should give him an opportunity to smile every now and again. I think that'd be nice.
Well, he's too busy being a hard ass.
Diego plays our Donald, our buddy of the red hair.
Who?
Our FBI agent with the red hair. That's his new name.
Agent Redhead?
Agent Red. Well, why not? Raymond Red Reddington. We guys will go some more alliteration.
Agent Ressler.
Agent Donald Ressler.
Yes.
I think that he could smile a couple times, but that's probably more of a direction thing at this point. They'll let him smile in episode
Writing,
7.
Directing.
I think the writing could be a little tighter. I think what this is. Well, let me tell you why I think this. I think they've kind of written themselves into a spot where they've gone like, we've got this really cool idea, and here's this super criminal, and he's going to find all these other super criminals using the FBI, and he's going to use it as a power base. They have to be really. I mean, they've set the bar really high for themselves.
Good.
Does that make sense?
Great.
So they got to deliver. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
What's your grading system,
Yeah,
Braz?
What's your grading system, Brad?
Let's hear all about it.
A+s across the board.
Chicken
A+
shit.
for everybody.
You call me B for boring.
No. Honestly,
everything was beautiful.
What could be better about I actually really I didn't have as many problems with the show as you guys did, and we'll talk to it. I actually thought it was a very good second episode. I thought I still love Spader, our man Steph from Pretty in Pink, as we call him. I like Spader. I mean, I've got my cons about the character itself and some of the little Spaderisms that he does and the whole thing. I've got some specific spot that I don't like, which I'll get to. But I love Spader doing his thing, his smug charm, as I called it last week. I love. I think the writing is, it's pretty tight. It actually feels. There's some complaints, some other things I read, and some people I talked about how the pilot was almost too tight. It was very it was an airtight script, and I thought I complimented it last week, but some people were criticizing it, saying it was too, it was a perfect script and it was too perfect, which I don't know how that's possible. And I feel like he's done a great job in sort of weaving everything you need to do through this script. I thought the script was very, very good. I'll qualify that in a second. I think the acting's great, script's great. I think it was a very well-directed episode. I think the whole intercutting at the beginning they had between the Justice Department lady and the polygraph test was really cool and well done. I thought the foot chase, I'm a sucker for a good old-fashioned foot chase.
I agree with you on that.
It makes me want to be good old 70s movies or The Firm had a good foot chase.
It had a brilliant foot chase. Yeah.
So I'm a sucker for a good foot chase. I like the handheld stuff. I liked all that stuff. Pretty believable to me. I like the sort of the twist at the end. With the we find out that Isabella Rossellini is the bad guy.
Which I want to just go out and say I called in the first 30 seconds.
He did.
You're smarter than me. Anyway, I liked everything about it.
I don't trust
But
her.
here's the thing: I'm judging this, and maybe this is the problem. I'm judging this by the criteria of. I'm resolved to the fact that this is a procedural. This is a network that maybe NBC doesn't want me to hear when I say this, but this is a boilerplate, above average, way above average boilerplate procedural dressed up to be like something fancy like Homeland or some sort of serialized action-packed thing. I think it's just a really good mildly serialized action-packed procedural. We're gonna have a blacklister of the week. We're going to have a crime to solve every week. It's going to have a beginning, middle, and end, and it's going to have some serialized elements.
Absolutely.
And
We'll have an overarching drama between James and Megan.
It's the network that brings us Law and Order and one of the greatest procedurals of all time. There's nothing wrong, and and we have Ironside coming up, which is another procedural. There's nothing wrong on network TV to cozy up on a Monday night at 10 o'clock and watch a good procedural. So I enjoyed it, and I think that if they're able to pull that off with adding all these other sort of cool elements to it, I think you have something here. So that's where I'm coming from. It's hard for me to judge it against, like, pay cable shows, like HBO shows or Showtime shows, or even, the FX shows or AMC shows these days. I mean, this is the standard that they're going to be held against, of course, because we're in a world where the broadcast networks are competing with the cable networks and the pay cable networks. But you know what? This is a good NBC show, and I liked it. Damn you.
Done.
Show's over.
Done.
Please.
Well, we saved you all a half an hour. You're welcome.
No, so but we'll get into some more. But why don't you tell us about what you have to tell us about, Joe, in your paper there?
Well, we've got a new show coming out from our friends at ABC. This is Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. On Thursday, October 10th, do not be late for the biggest adventure of the season. Jump down the rabbit hole into an epic romance. It is the premiere of ABC's brand new series, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. She is not the Alice you thought you knew. She's all grown up. She is smarter, stronger, a fighter, and in love with the genie from Aladdin. Her father thinks she's crazy, and her doctors all agree. Alice embarks on her most dangerous and mysterious journey yet, back to the Wonderland to rescue her one true love, who's being held captive by the Red Queen and Jafar. There has not been a single typo. This is what this show is. The evil wizard from the Aladdin tale. Now, from the writers of Lost and the creators of Once Upon a Time comes a brand new series, A Whole New World, loaded with stunning visual effects. TV Guide calls it provocative. Starring Lost, Naveen Andrews, Sophie Lowe, Peter Godot, Emma Rigby, Michael Sosha, and John Lithgow as the White Rabbit. Alice's search for her lost love begins. It's this year's Don't Miss television event, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. Series premiere Thursday, October 10 at 8/7 Central on ABC. That sounds epic.
Well, maybe when you read it.
No, I mean
that was a voice. What did you're doing, like your voice, your VO voice?
I got a bunch of different VO voices. But I tell you what, this show. This is like every mad idea anybody's ever had all slapped together in one show. This is going to be really interesting.
I had the fine pleasure of checking the show out at TCA's.
Did you get to check it out?
And seeing and talking to I talked to Naveen, and I talked to a couple of the folks on the show, and it looks really, really cool. If you love Once Upon a Time, which people do,
it's a great show.
This is a cool new take on it. And look, it's fantasy. It's doing its thing. It's trading on the brand. But like, there's some really good actors in there. And Naveen, what's wrong with that guy?
No, nothing. And I love that they've got it's ABC, so they got the whole Disney thing. They can grab anything they want. It's awesome.
He's Jafar. Saeed is Jafar.
Can you imagine like how cool it would be as a writer? Be like, all right, and anything that Disney's ever done, you can grab it. It's cool.
All right.
That's
anyway,
epic.
So watch that show, check it out. But also, back to the Blacklist.
All right, let's talk about this.
Okay, so just unpack this for me. I mean, Julia, let's get into the episode itself. What were your specific takeaways of the episode? I mean, you talked about Spader, but like, give me something. What did you give me some takeaways here?
I'm pretty sure that I would be a better FBI agent than these people.
Oh.
I mean, God, I don't even know. Can they just let Red go every single time? Anytime that they let him out in the open, he escapes somehow.
You know why?
It seems like baffling every single time.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's a master effing criminal, Julia.
No one's covering the exits.
There's only a few ways in and out of a building.
No, well, he did that.
Nobody was covering the exits.
He went out the back.
An exit.
No, he did thing. He paid the guy.
47 FBI agents in Montreal, which no one explains. But we have 47
Can we go
FBI
there?
agents.
Can we do that in Montreal?
Apparently, we can just roll into Montreal whenever we feel like it. Now, when I went into Canada, they had some questions for me, but I do not have an FBI badge.
I mean, they didn't even have a plant inside the restaurant itself.
Well, they did. That was the thing. He looked over and he saw the guy, the bartender dude, and he looked over and he saw someone else, and he's like, I gotta go. And the guy's like, he's on to us.
Well, then they're really sucky FBI agents.
Okay.
That
now, in fairness, in a procedural, if the FBI agents were worth a shit, the procedural would not go past episode 2. So, I mean, they cannot be very good.
All right.
That's just the rules.
We do have some carryover from our FBI WTF.
FBI WTF.
But okay, I'll buy that. I was, all right.
It bothered me a little bit.
Okay.
They're so like into this guy, who he is, what he's doing. They're watching every move, but they're really not watching him.
No, he put on the hat though.
Oh, God.
he just disappeared. Were you paying attention, Julia?
Did you not see the magic hat?
Magic hats.
And he dipped out the back. He's a master criminal.
Episode 2, the magic hat.
All right.
All right. Well,
hold on.
Go,
No,
please continue. Go.
And along with that shoddy FBI training, apparently the most popular class is pen defense at Quantico.
She does stab somebody with a pen every time she gets.
Yo.
She doesn't sign her name without stabbing somebody with a pen.
Don't give Elizabeth Keene a pen.
No. Dude, that chick don't write a check without cutting somebody up.
Sponsored by Bic.
She will, yeah.
But I mean, really?
Oh.
So?
Oh, okay. Well, that was it.
That was it.
That's really all I had.
I love it.
I'm fascinated by her pen actions.
How are you feeling about, let's talk about, so we talked about Spader, and we like Spader, right, doing his thing. How are we feeling about Megan Boone?
I gotta say, I like Megan Boone.
I wasn't talking to you, son.
I'm interjecting.
No, it's okay. No.
Son?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right, Dad. Here's what I want to talk about.
All right. I'm always your dad.
I felt like I think she's got a face. Number one, she's gorgeous, but that's easy. But I think that
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
So I think what I really like about her though is that she has like she's fairly unexpected. Her responses.
It's easy to be gorgeous. That's what Joseph Sanfelippo says.
If you're gorgeous, it's easy.
This guy.
I think Megan does something really cool that she I don't really know how to put this. She's not expected. I don't think anytime her responses, anything that she's done where she's just her on camera and we're just getting her reactions, we're just seeing what she's thinking about. I don't feel like she's doing what I would expect an actress in her position to do. Does that make any sense? Like the character, now it's not dramatically off. It's not like we're doing something totally outrageous, but it's just off enough that it's really interesting for me to watch, and I'm curious what she's going to do next. And with regard to the pen stabbings, I really enjoyed the first one because it was very jarring. And I was like, all right, this chick is not playing. She will straight stab you with a pen.
Stab you in the neck with a pen.
And
See
then
what she can do with a mechanical pencil.
forget it, chick is crazy.
Click, 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 click.
Never let her have a compass, man.
Well, she certainly doesn't. She doesn't give anything away, as an actress. Like
Yeah.
You guys are not in on. I'm hearing like you're out on Megan Boone so far.
No, did you hear me talk?
I'm out. No, okay. No,
I like Megan Boone. I just said that.
All right. Okay,
Look what you did to my voice. It's way up here now.
No, you're not gonna get any VO jobs with that thing.
No, Screech, man. I can dub for Screech.
There you go. Okay, so Megan. So you're okay with Megan Boone? Look. I think she was great in the pilot. I think she has all the things I talked about in the episode 1, the mix of the vulnerability and toughness, and she's got the wide-eyed sort of idealism that is slowly being ripped away.
I think a lot of that was lost in this episode.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that.
No more of that wide-eyed.
She's got a secret too. She's got a secret. There's something we don't know yet.
I think that there was a lot. The whole episode to me was really about sort of very 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 much so about Megan Boone being Elizabeth Keene being an idealist and sort of having her world shattered in every step. She loved Isabella Rossellini. Like, I read your book, I followed you, and of course she's a child trafficker.
I like it when we get these human moments from her because they're very rare in these first 2 episodes, at least. They're very few and far between. So she's I find her to be so stone-faced when she is Lizzie Keene, the FBI profiler, but I guess that comes with being a profiler. You can't give anything away, right? And you're constantly observing and taking in people's personalities, and you must learn, along with pen stabbing, you must learn to keep everything, close to the vest. Is that the right phrase? Close to the vest?
Close to the vest. I think that's fair. Yeah.
What do we think about her? What about the profiling scene? I like that a lot. I like when Spader asked him to profile her, and he did and she profiled him. I thought she was very good in that scene.
In the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think Megan Boone is great in this show. I think she's really adds a neat element that is unexpected. That's the best word I can come up with. She's unexpected.
I'm enjoying her performance.
Okay, good. All right. I liked her a lot better in episode 1 than in episode 2. I think that the shine is the bloom is a little off the rose. I think she definitely had her moments. I think that it was a really strong pilot and a really well directed pilot. I don't think that this pilot was poorly directed. I just feel like that, Spader's the center of the show, and she is also. So it's like you have to have someone to be able to go toe to toe with Spader. And I think that's
just what's missing from the show.
Just like, obviously to go back to Jodie Foster going to be able to. You have Sir Anthony Hopkins there. Who's going to go toe to toe? You have to have Jodie Foster, who's a fantastic actress. Even going to our show Hannibal, you have Hugh Dancy, Will Graham going toe to toe with Mads. Like it works. I think I'm worried about. We'll see. I'm worried about Megan Moon being able to go toe to toe with James Spader. I'm buying it so far, but I'm kind of like it's kind of slipping away from me a little bit.
Let me tell you why I think there's a problem.
We
The
got
problem
20 episodes to go, so a long way to go. So we're fine.
I think the problem right now is they're writing themselves into a corner, and this is what I was trying to allude to earlier. If you set her up, with this whole thing with Tom, right? So now we've established that the husband is suspect, right? We've got the passports, we got the money under the floor. So Tom is suspect now, and so we already have aligned Elizabeth tighter with Raymond than with her own husband.
Right.
Right. And Raymond's, pushing that further and further, which is obviously what he's trying to do, and it's working, right? So.
Oh, okay, Reddington. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. I call him Red.
Well, you want to call him Red?
No.
All right. So Red. All right. So Raymond's pushing Elizabeth and Tom further and further apart every chance he gets. Tom's in a coma the whole time. He can't defend himself, obviously. And what is she going to say to him anyway? And of course, we find out that she's going to play it a little bit differently later on. So here's the thing that I think is interesting about the show, and I think is missing. There is no foil, like you said, for James Spader. There is no one going toe to toe with him. Like so far, we've set up a couple of possibilities. You got Harry Lennox, and you've got
Harry Lennox,
aka
me.
Anyway, I have no opinions. Okay, so Harry Lennox is kind of could be set up as the guy to go toe to toe with Spader, but so far they haven't written that to happen.
A little bit in the pilot,
right? And then, but I'll tell you what. Yes,
Harry Lennox is a black guy who plays Harold Cooper, who is the head of the FBI.
Right.
Who's the
they set
the black guy.
They set that up in the pilot, but then again, the writing isn't working for me because you've established now you've got the the district attorney,
attorney general, the liaison to the attorney general's office.
She's above him now, and now he's saying no. He's saying no. We have to trust Spader to her. So now he's playing on Spader's team a little, just enough that he can't be a true adversary. So I just feel like there needs to be a true adversary to James Spader to make this show work. And I feel like that's what's missing, and I hope that happens in the next couple of episodes. I'm sure that they're aware of that.
And every time
totally disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Sorry, anytime they have a chance for Harry Lennox, God, what is this character's name?
Harold Cooper.
Harold Cooper.
Yeah.
Anytime they give him an opportunity to speak to Spader and show his authority,
he talks like this,
and he talks like that. There's a moment where you go, okay, here it goes, and then Spader shuts it down immediately, and so we get no payoff for that. He goes, well, I'll only talk to Lizzie Keene.
Right.
So you're like, oh, well.
So eventually there has to be a power shift. Eventually the power has to come out of James Spader's hands. Otherwise the show's got nowhere to go.
Also, what I'm kind of missing is I feel like Lizzie is way too comfortable with James Spader already, with Red. They're just walking down the hallway and chatting like it's nothing. She's not scared of him. She's not intimidated by him. And he's what was he, number 9 on the FBI's most...
4.
Number 4?
4.
Sorry, on the FBI's most wanted list, and it's her first day and now her second day. And that's just very unrealistic to me, that she is not in the least bit intimidated by his presence.
Here's what I'll say to you guys.
Say it.
Here's my guns.
Okay. Take them out.
No, it's good. Okay, so working backwards, I disagree. I think that Lizzie Keene's not, in my opinion, she's not supposed. We're calling her Lizzie.
I know, because we're besties.
Oh, Lizzie's. Agent Keene is not supposed to be intimidated by him. I think that's part of her toughness. That's what we're supposed to buy into her as a tough agent. I think every time we see her first interactions with her with Spader, it's always pretty tough, like running up to, tell me what you know. I'm not speaking. This is the deal. I know you put the box in there. I know you put the passports in there. What do you know? I'm not talking to you. Like, she wasn't nice to him in the restaurant. She wasn't nice to him on the, in the big robotic thing that you like so much show. She didn't believe him about Rossellini. I don't forget her character's name. She didn't really softened to him at all until the very end when everything he revealed to be said was true and her whole sort of thing was shattered. That's the only time we saw her soften. So I think that sort of played properly in my opinion. I think the whole foil for James for Spader, you know, I mean, I like that he's playing everyone. He's got to be the smartest guy in the room. This is the guy who we wanted Joe Carroll from The Following to be, right? So I mean, he's 5 steps ahead of everyone. He's the smartest guy in the room, and that's what's great about it. He even said it to Rossellini. He's like, "Oh, the FBI, they're working for me now."
Exactly.
Like that was I love
that was
that.
a great line.
And that's kind of like how he's rolling. So all these guys, my man, Harold Cooper, he can yell all he wants and do what he wants, but
That's a very, very good Harry Lennox. That is
all
very
us
impressive.
black guys can do each other pretty well.
Let's talk about the meeting.
At the meeting, we'll
At the meeting, yeah, talk about
no. So then, but we haven't talked about our boy Diego Ressler, who really is. He's a guy I have problems with in terms of just his over the top sort of hothead character. I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's very one dimensional. He's always pissed. He's pissed at Lizzie. He's pissed at Reddington. He's running around. I'm not buying him. You know, I liked him in Homeland. He has so much credit built up for me because I loved him as Mike in Homeland.
Love him as Mike.
Well, and not that he really did much, really. We just kind of like him, right? I mean, what did he really do?
No, but there's real character involved there.
Right.
You know, there's depth to that character.
So when he shows up here, it's like, oh, well, Mike, now we're talking. And so far, Ressler's fairly one-dimensional. I mean, he did a good foot chase. But he's the guy for me who's really the guy who's giving Spader.
He doesn't have the stature. This is my point. He doesn't have the stature.
So what I'll say is I think that what we're supposed to believe is, and what we'll see as this thing I would like to see, is my prediction, that it's the people on the blacklist who are going to give Spader, who he's going to have his sort of one-on-one sessions with. There's got to be, a bad version of Spader out there. Not that Spader's good, but there'll be like a bunch of guys who he goes up with who Spader says, this guy's really bad. And we'll have those interactions.
All right, so I don't
think it's set up for Spader to have his equal in the FBI when they all work for him. His equal is out there. We haven't met him yet.
All right, so you think there's going to be a longer arc coming storyline-wise where we have
We've
super
got
criminal.
20 episodes to go.
Well, if you say it harder, then I'll understand it better. 20 episodes. Then the words are stronger.
20 episodes to go. Here at the FBI.
Really spot on. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, so
he's like Yale
this is my
trained,
point.
though. I'm not that guy.
This is my point. That this is what I want, and I'm hoping it comes. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay,
I want there to be a good foil for him because I want somebody of equal stature to be on screen so that we can really truly enjoy it. Otherwise, James Spader just looks like he's pushing and pulling too easily.
Sure.
And then it's not as much fun to watch.
Here's what else I like. We want to talk about the introduction of the team because we have a team now.
We got a team.
We have a team. We got my man. What's his name? The one name dude.
Oh, I was
Freedom Fighter. Yep, that's his name.
I have it.
It's like that, right?
The South African
Dembe,
and he was a South African freedom fighter. And he's got the cartel brand. We find out later on in the random shower scene where apparently Dembe and Agent
Ressler.
Oh, Ressler.
Agent Ressler shower together.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Hey man, you gotta stay clean.
You gotta stay clean at the FBI. That's how it works.
I could think of worse scenes.
There's a good little gratuitous full frontal male nudity. It's all right.
If you didn't watch the episode, that didn't happen.
These ratings got to come from somewhere. These ratings aren't all based on Spader's good acting and balding hair.
Spader was good, but the full frontal was fantastic.
So I like it. I like the idea of this. I'm a sucker for all this and all these tropes. So we talked about the big board and the room of clear the room. We talked about last week. So
What's our other favorite one? Where's the bomb?
Yeah, exactly. We had that. I'll get to that in a second. We had the tell me where the bomb is moment.
Tell me where the bomb is.
Tell me where the bomb is. But I like the assembling of the team. Next to my only next favorite thing from the big board is get the team together. It's like very superhero Born Identity Justice League. We have the black guy, the South African freedom fighter. We have this mysterious Asian woman. What's her deal?
I think he called her Louie.
Yeah,
she doesn't like men, and she really hates cops.
But man, she's a good kisser.
I'll just lay it right on him. Bang.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And now I love that scene where he gives him the European 2 kisses, and he gives her the full American or the French version. You know what I'm saying? The French version. So, Anyway, so yeah, that happened.
And now we have the introduction of Agent Malik as well.
Right.
Can I talk about Agent Malik for a second?
Yes.
Please do.
That chick is no joke.
She's no joke whatsoever.
She's like, compound fracture? Let's talk about that. By that, I mean, let me put my hand in your compound fracture and twist it around.
Exactly.
Yeah. I liked it.
She didn't stab anybody with a pen, but I don't think that
She didn't take that class.
She skipped
CIA.
it. She's CIA. There's a difference. Right. She's like, pen stabbing? That's very cute. Give me your leg.
Yes. Well, we love her. We
Love her.
Yeah. Good old Padmalu.
Commander Nagra. Parminder. I really,
Bend it
she
like
was
Beckham.
awesome.
I'm telling you, I love that movie.
ER. Yeah, she's great. And she's a tiny little thing, but she's tough.
She's a badass.
I believe her.
Absolutely.
I believe
she
her.
looked at the freelancer and she's like, you and I know there's a difference. When she's like, I'm CIA. Oh, it was bad, dude.
I love it. And then so now apparently in procedures, we're pretty much like, after Zero Dark 30, the genie's out of the bottle. We're Americans, we torture. That's what we do. I mean, it's
kind of an awful thing.
It's just seeped. I mean, 24 seeped it into our pop culture, and now you have a prime time show that's like, oh yeah, FBI, those guys, they have law, they have rules.
They have rules.
They're
I'm CIA.
I'm CIA.
I do what I want.
I'm gonna F with your compound flash.
I do what I want.
So what show is she on? Is she on the Tyler Perry show?
I do what I want.
What show is she from?
She's hardcore.
She's from Meet the Browns. No. What was that?
Commander, I like this character. I like how tough she is.
She's brown, and that's. No, we love her. So she's tough. Stay with me, guys. Come on. She's no, but that was great. I love that. We gotta have that. Tell me where the bomb is. Scene.
I'm excited about the introduction of her character.
Right.
I'm excited about the introduction of this team.
I like the team.
Yeah, I think throwing her in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
The other two have worked together. They're working for Red. She's not. Maybe she'll turn. Who knows? Maybe that's a prediction. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
All right. We'll get there. All right.
I'm excited about this new layer.
Right.
I think there's potential.
So I like. So we set up the sort of the crime, the blacklister. Even I think Spader,
term.
He coined that at the end. There's been a lot of blacklisters out there. I'm like, oh, blacklister. I like that one. So we have blacklisters to hunt down. We've got a team assembled. We've got secrets to be revealed. And I like the idea that Spader's character Red is. I mean, he's purposely ambiguous, but I like the idea that he planned that whole. I mean, It's almost like these people on the blacklist, he wants to take out himself. I think that's the one thing. This is his list, right? It feels like he's using the FBI to do his bidding. Like somehow he's like... So he's been deep cover for 20-some years. He's gotten to all these relationships, and now he's going to take everybody down. Well, I don't know that he's been deep cover so much. I think that like he said like about Isabella Rossellini, he's like, I despise her. And she's pretty bad. I mean, human trafficking, she's awful, right? But at the same time, raising money to combat human trafficking. Right. At that garish party. Garish?
Garish.
No. Garish? But I like the idea. It was a little inappropriate.
With blown up pictures of these poor victims of sex trafficking.
We are having a great club party to combat.
And look over the New York cityscape.
It's open bar. Everybody drink all you want.
for a good cause. Drink up.
Get your date good and loaded while we combat sex trafficking.
Well, at her speech, she did very tastefully drink some champagne, and thank you. Doop, doop. Yes, but no, I do like the idea of Red coming in and says, "I'm going to help you guys find this person. Here's the person you need." But during that process, we freed him up to go and put the hit out on this person, and then make it all happen. There's something that this is where I disagree. I think the writing is it's very tight, but it's also very cool, almost neat. But neat the way they're doing this.
Let me ask you a question, and this is something that is unresolved that I feel like we need to discuss. Mm-hmm. So we knew at the end we find out that Reddington hired the freelancer to kill Isabella Rossellini's character, Farina Campo.
Oh,
right.
That's her name.
That's her name. So now here's the question: did he also hire him to derail the train? And if he didn't hire him to derail the train, how did he get him into the U.S., and how did he line him up on the Farina Campo job? So, I mean, then it becomes a question of, like, if he did derail the train just to give himself credibility with the FBI so he could pull off the next hit, then did he have those 60 people killed for credibility?
I think that he... knew that there was an event, like he said. I think all that part was true. But I think that once he realized who the target was or who was behind this, then I think he set everything up, right?
That's what I'm asking, because I'd kind of taken for granted that was the case, but then when I was thinking it over again, I'm like, no, wait a damn minute. We had a train derail. We had 60 people get killed. We know that the Freelancer was the one who did this, and then the next job the Freelancer takes is assigned to him by Reddington. So...
Well, he could have brokered that first deal, the train deal, because that's how he's been operating for the last 20 years. He's been brokering these huge...
So he brokered the deal.
The train deal.
And then he set up the next one.
That was for a councilwoman from Albany.
Yeah, I'm confused. Are you sure the Freelancer did the train deal? Is
that was the whole... That's how he got his credibility to get the whole operation going in Montreal.
The councilwoman.
Okay, got it.
So I don't know. That's a question.
Because he knew that was coming, therefore he could say, "Hey, while you're in town,
I think it's that.
Why don't you do this one for me too?" When really he just needs him to get him in.
He's like, "There's a guy who I know who's going to be able to do this job for me. He's going to do something bad. We're going to find him. Once he does that bad thing, I'm going to hire him to take out this chick who's bad for me." Right?
All right, I got you. So I'm just saying, I'm not sure. I think that seems like it's a little ambiguous to me.
All right.
It's a lot of hoopla when he could have just done it himself.
I don't know.
Oh, hoopla.
There's some hoopla involved. But you could also argue that there were two birds at one stone, because we got the Freelancer off the blacklist and we got Fajarina Campo.
Oh.
So we got them both. So 2 for 1.
Say it again.
I don't think I said it right. So I'm not going to double down. But I think so. I mean that could be maybe that's the deal. And he's saying that we got a total of 3,000 civilians have been killed by this guy. So maybe an extra 60 is worth it. I don't know.
Right, maybe.
Now we're doing civilian death math.
All right. Well, I almost forgot. I want to just remind everyone and thank everyone for listening to us on iTunes. We really appreciate you downloading this podcast. If you've listened to it, you've downloaded it, so we appreciate it.
Excellent job, by the way.
It's one button. You click it. You did a great job. No, here we are. Please continue to listen to us as you watch this show. Rate us. You can tell us we suck. You can tell us.
Please don't.
Don't do that.
No, okay. I'm sorry. You can tell us we're good.
You can. You can do whatever you want.
You can give us 1 to 5 stars, but we love 5.
We love the 5s.
We work for 5.
We do. So thank you very much, and you can also watch us on YouTube as well, and watch this live if you're streaming live at this late hour, midnight-ish. Then thank you for that too. So okay, so for me, all in all, I'm still in on the show, and if I'm out on the show, I'm going to say it.
I'm still in too, but like I said, I have some demands. I want a foil. I want a foil for James Spader. I want it now.
Episode 2, you want a foil?
Yeah, right away.
This is the thing too. Like in the world of binge watching and the culture we have of like sort of bulk binge watching shows, I sort of feel like that, we're a little spoiled in watching these week to week shows. I feel like that this is a show that maybe he has 6 hours. If you look at it on a 20-hour thing, he has 6 hours to be able to tell the first part of the story, another 6 hours to be able to tell the middle, and then another 6 or 7 hours to be able to tell the end.
So you're saying 4 more episodes before I get a foil?
I'm just saying, like, if you were to binge watch this show, like House of Cards, where it felt like a 13-hour movie or 11-hour, whatever how many episodes it was, I mean, I think he has to let things play out. I mean, this is a procedural. You do have, every episode has an end so far we see, but it is serialized. I think those answers and those layers will be peeled back as we go along, which, it's I'm not going to apologize here, but like, it's hard to do, like, long attention span network television. I mean, you don't have time. What happened? Oh.
You just said schlong attention span.
I meant long. Schlong.
We didn't want to laugh.
You could laugh.
We had to.
I'm laughing.
Wet. Schlong.
Attention. We're a bunch of 12-year-olds.
It's hard to do
This podcast
schlong
is done by 12-year-olds.
attention span. But it's hard to do long attention span 20-plus episode arc things. You don't have a tight 13 to do it like Breaking Bad.
True.
So, or tight 13 to do it like they do it on Game of Thrones. They do it in 10 in Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so,
shortchange
we'll let this thing play out. Let it breathe a little bit, Who knows?
I'm with you. You asked me what my issues were. I told you.
Well, I think now we should jump into a little bit of news and gossip.
Tell us what you got.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, I just want to just really talk about the ratings and the reviews of the show. The reviews have been mostly positive on the pilot. Actually, very positive. I said there's been some criticism, with some people sort of think it's a little too neat and not as cool as a Homeland or whatever it is. But for the most part, very good. But what is great are the ratings. The ratings are pretty much, I don't want to say they're through the roof, but they're pretty strong. I mean, they premiered last week. It premiered at I think it was a 12.6. I mean,
Nice.
12.6 million viewers. It did really strong in the 1849 demo. It's a 10 o'clock show. It beat out last year's Revolution, and it sort of crushed the other Homeland-ish show,
it did.
Hostages. Like crushed Hostages in CBS, which is a big deal, a big win for NBC because CBS is just kicking NBC's ass in revenues and ratings and everything else. I just read that CBS makes $500 million less, 500 million to 800 million less than CBS does in revenues. So that's a big gap. So there's a lot of room there for NBC to make some money. So this is a big win for them on a big night. But even furthermore, in addition, we now have the +3 and the +7 ratings, and the +3 DVR ratings came back.
And
it actually did another 4.8 million viewers.
So at about 16.5 million.
So yeah, so the show actually did, let's say, 4.3 million. So it's, so 16.95 in addition to the 12. I mean, taking it from 12.5 to 16.95.
Got it.
So it is I think it's the biggest of all time. It's the biggest jump of all time, or some crazy stat. I can't find it here, but I'm doing a great job at news. Anyway, a lot of people watched it, and it was a big hit.
Yay!
And then they checked on DVRs, and more people watched it than they thought.
That's a very good story, Joe.
You know what? I'm full of them. That's all I got.
Excellent.
Well told.
Anybody else? News? Gossip?
I got nothing.
All right, let's go to predictions.
Let's talk about them.
And now,
we got lighting effects.
AfterBuzz TV.
Always had them.
Always had them. I just never noticed.
All right.
Damn drugs.
Julia, what do you think?
Predictions. All right. Well, something we didn't really even really touch on too much tonight is our girl Lizzie and her hubby home from the hospital.
Oh yeah.
She reburied his little treasure.
Yep.
Put brand new carpet over it. Just sort of just put that away. And what did Red say? He said you have two options. You could turn him in, you can confront him,
Right.
or there's a third option. What is that third option? And something I do need to point out. My girl Shelly out there, I know you're listening, pointed this
Hi,
out
Shelley.
to me. Hi, Shelly. Her scar is, we think, the same as the imprint on the top of the box. That symbol on the box looks very similar to the scar on her hand.
What?
What?
Oh.
So this is something we need to delve into a little bit more. They didn't even show her scar at all tonight, but they did make a point to really zoom in on that symbol on top of the box. Although that is something I think she would have put together pretty quickly.
And then what about this? I mean, I'm asking questions and predictions, which is weird, but
Yeah.
Spader alluded to the fact that you don't know a lot about yourself. There's things about yourself you don't know.
Everything you know about yourself is a lie.
Thank you. Something like that.
You're welcome.
All right.
So there's some correlation there. It's not really a prediction. It's just sort of an observance or something I'm looking forward to finding out.
How about a prediction? All right. Joe.
I'm really spun up on the scar.
That's good. That's good.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens with the scar, Julia. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think that we have a secret from Lizzie. I don't know what it is, but it's something about the kids. There's something going on. Because that was our big thing at the end. We watched the little video of Tom talking about Lizzie, and he looked like he was emotionally caught up. So there's something legit about Tom, but there's also something obviously not. But I think that
That's not a prediction either.
water's wet, you guys. Newsflash. You're welcome. But anyway, I think she's got a secret about this whole thing with Tom and the kids. I think there's something going on with Lizzie underneath. I can't get specific because I don't know what it is yet, but I think there is a hardcore secret coming that is not related to James Spader being her father, which is my other prediction. But I think that there is I think there's something going on that nobody knows about, including Spader, that I think she's going to blow us all away with. That's all.
Well, I do think that she knows more than she's letting on, considering they made a big point of saying that she does not want to have biological children.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Something's going on.
So I think she knows something about her family, about her family's past,
Right.
its
Now, there's
mental
a prediction.
history.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
There you
give me
go.
a minute, guys. I'll work it out.
I'll go to Joe first.
Scar.
Between the two of us, we have a prediction.
One prediction. 10 minutes. I stepped on my prediction earlier, but I think that this list. Oh, look at the written played out.
Oh.
You'd like to thank
Your
the
prediction is
Academy
so
for
long, I can't even.
That was a joke. Sorry.
Okay. My prediction is that Spader's list is his hit list, and he has reasons for the list that are his own as opposed to their. And I think the list is very, very schlong. It's a schlong list.
12-year-old.
I just want to say, if
yes.
you hadn't made that charming with your Schlong reference,
What?
I was just going to say you just gave the basic overarching plot of the entire show as your prediction.
All right. Well, that's how good my predictions are.
I got a prediction. James Spader has a list on it. There's bad people. He's going to call it the Blacklist. I'm out.
Press up. Mic drop. Julia,
Good
where
night,
can we find you?
Wisconsin.
You can find me on the Twitter, Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley. Come follow me.
Filippo, where can we find you?
You can find me on my website, Joseph
There's a
Sanfelippo.
website?
It's very exciting. You were sent there. I don't know if you ever went. JosephSanfelippo.com, or you can find me on the Twitters at JoeFlippo. That is it.
I went to the website. It's great. You can find me on Twitter at Joe K. Braswell and on Instagram at Joe Braswell and on Grantland and here. And that's it. And that's all I got to say. So we'll come back next week with more Blacklist and maybe some Nando Velasquez, maybe.
Fingers
definitely
crossed.
definitely some Stephen Lemieux.
Hello, producer Stephen Lemieux.
And we'll see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.